with Nelly and Jay. So yeah, we can start with some check-ins. Oh, and I know there's a way to get to this one. So as we're linking everything, I'm pretty sure, yeah, here we go. So if I click on this, this will take me to the actual live event. It is working. And that's this one here. All right, so check-ins. I'm doing good. I feel like I might go to Oakland today, which is going to be a lot. Hopefully, we'll get more stuff done there. But I'd love to make some progress today. And tomorrow, I'm going to be doing gardening, which should be exciting.
Yes.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just had some pancakes, which is very good. I love pancakes.
Pancakes, yummy.
I think I'm going downtown after, and then meeting some friends for a birthday celebration.
Nice.
Yes.
Very, very cool. So I guess our time frame is, well, we have like 1.5 hours left. So that's pretty cool. I would say, and we're definitely want to do some prioritization because there's always more to do than we can accomplish in this short amount of time.
Okay.
But we got this all set up, so we have the new buddy team doc set up, which is good. And then we have these tasks that we can do. And we finished this, so we got this one done, got this done. So I was thinking about doing a quick training on how to transfer ownership of a, of a doc. So this is part of documentations training, and transfer ownership of a doc. And we covered creating a doc, right? So creating a doc is super simple. You just come over here, click on new doc, right? And then there's linking a doc. So creating and linking docs, and for linking them, you would go to share, and you get your your doc, and then you copy it, and then you would link it to the notes that you're working on. And I guess we can show how to do a link real quick. So you would take any particular word, you push the link button, paste, and apply. Done. And then you can remove a link by clicking the remove button. So that's creating linking docs. From there, transferring ownership of a doc. So for this one, you can check here by clicking on advanced. You can see that you are the owner, right? So the first thing I would do is I would invite, I guess, let's start with Unity Net Global. With that one. And then you might be able to directly transfer ownership already, but I'm not sure. You can try. So let's say this doc right here. If I go to share, so right now it's shared with a bunch of people, all these people, right? And let's say I was going to go here. Owner, advanced permissions, and delete files. Oh wait, so the owner is actually Community Network America for Nelly's doc. So I don't own that one. I'd have to log into that doc. Let's see if I own this one. So I click advanced. Yeah, so this one says that I own it. And so I should be able to go in and, for example, to Community Network America, and I can change it to be the owner. Done. You made changes that you need to save. I would click save. Are you sure? Transferring ownership, the new owner will be notified. You may no longer be able to change sharing settings, and the new owner may also remove access. I would say yes. Cool, done. So basically, you would just go to share. You push advanced, and then you would click on. Well, you need one that's already shared, and then you would click on the edit button there, and then you would access them to be a new owner. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let's see here. So it says you're still the owner. Are you able to make the UnityNet Global at gmail.com the owner?
Let me check that in the buddy team, right?
These are just for our notes for now.
It's Unity, right? Unity. Unity Network.
Yeah.
I'm not having that one. Is
you don't
Unity
see it?
UnityNet Global at gmail.com. Okay, let me try that one.
You see it?
UnityNet Global at gmail.com. Okay. Unity, it's going to be the owner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I did.
Cool. So then if we come back here, click on advance. Yeah. Now it says Unity Networks owner. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So let's practice one more time here. So let's say we wanted to make the whole Americas account. So this would be the Community Network Americas. So I go to share, go to advanced. I would add their account. They don't need to be notified, push OK. And so now they're on there, and then I would just go here and say owner and save changes. Are you sure? Yes. Done. Cool. So now we learned how to transfer ownership of a doc.
Okay.
Great. All right. So there's a bunch of tasks from yesterday's meeting, work reporting, but I think we should start with work reporting.
Yes.
And then, do you know how to log into the Americas account?
Yes, to Google, right?
Yeah, I would just be logging in using.
I actually have the other account already added to my Gmail. Right now I'm there.
Cool. So yeah, so when you're making documents, it's good to be
in the Americas account.
Yeah, logged into the Americas account, because then you don't have to worry about the ownership settings.
Okay. Right.
Cool. So this should be good. All right. So yeah. So I want to definitely go over work reporting. So as you know, we do the we do hourly reporting as best as possible, and this is for a couple reasons. One, or actually, it's more like hourly tracking of work as best as possible. It's not really reporting it. So it's basically the process of doing it is just there's three components. There is the time, the date, the category / project that you're working on, and lastly, how many hours. Typically, we'd anything that you're doing, like let's say you do some Skype messaging or whatever, we just round up to 0.25 hours is kind of like the minimum, right? So if you do something that takes 30 seconds, like it's like, it doesn't really matter. You can kind of skip it. But, over time, if you do a bunch of things at 30 seconds, like at some point, you just say it's 0.25 hours, right? That's like kind of like the minimum that you'd want to put. So if you do something, put 0.25 hours. And then for after that, you would round to the closest 0.5 hours. So that's sort of how we do encourage people to do it. But in the end, people can kind of make up their own model for how to track their work. From there, if someone doesn't track hours, we technically can do an estimate on the number of hours, and this can happen, on a daily basis. It can happen on a weekly basis, monthly, quarterly, et cetera, right? So let's start, and then the next part of this, what we're gonna do is we are going to talk about, tracking logging other people's hours. So logging other people's hours into the spreadsheet. And hopefully we can get a little bit further on that. Okay, so go to Nelly's main doc and go to your work reporting doc.
Yes.
Oh, look, so you have a bunch of stuff in here. This is good.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, this is excellent. So Saturday, we can estimate it'll be about 2 hours, right? And remember, today's the last day of the week. And the weeks go, I should note this down as well. So weeks are Sunday through, let's go through Saturday. Now, and that'll change a little bit once we go to our lunar calendar. And it's sort of relative per person because there's different start times for Saturdays and Sundays across the world. So what that means for this particular week is the 15th is the Saturday from last week. So this would be the week before. Yes, perfect. So there's double team. So let's think about how it would be done with estimating briefly. Well, it looks like you already have it pretty good, but let's say you were just estimating, maybe it was like 2 hours a day, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours. So you could kind of estimate, like we did 10 hours this week, right? So
yes.
And then also you would say that's like 30% time or 33% time is another way of saying that. And we also want to note here for percentages. So this could be like, part-time, full-time, etc. And or you can do like 100% time, 50% time, 25% time, right?
I think right now we are doing part-time, right?
Yeah, that's what you're currently for you, right? Each person's a little different.
Yeah. Yes.
But so the part-time would be for us is about 15 hours because we do a 30-hour work week.
Yes. So part-time is 15
about
hours.
15 hours would be about, it would be it would be 50% time, right? And then if you're doing 10 hours would be equal to about 33 percentile in our calculations. Cool.
Yeah.
So this is excellent. Yeah, and so some days you might do multiple things in a single day. And so in that case, you would just have, for example, let's just look at today as an example. You know, I might do buddy team meeting with Jay and Nelly, 2 hours, right? And then later you do emails. That's like, you know, 0.5 hours, right? So in that way, you might have like, you know, multiple things in a single day.
Okay.
So for example, budget and training, I'm guessing this is within the double team meeting. And so this would technically be 2.5 hours like that. And you don't need to put the budget and training stuff there. That's like just extra. Nice. So Tuesday, April 18th. So if we go here, Tuesday, April 18th was buddy team Jay, Isaac, and Nelly. Cool.
Yeah, that was, I was trying to check what it was. America's Master Daily Notes documentation. What it would do that day was
again
was
that what you did is not exactly.
It was team Isaac, Jay, Isaac, and Nelly.
Yeah. So all you have to write is that you did a buddy team meeting. That's what you did. Right. You don't need to list out all the details of what we did in that meeting, because that's just like yeah, those are just details. For example. You know, like let's say you worked on payroll. You would just write payroll. You don't need to write, oh, I paid each of these different people. Like that's not applicable to just your work hours, right?
Okay.
So, and that's what the meeting notes are for. So, but by knowing the date and what you did, we would be able to track it down exactly what happened during that meeting simply by going to the date of the meeting, and we can see it here. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and so Monday, April.
Sorry, it was April 13th.
Oh, that's here. That's Tuesday, April 13th.
Yeah. Oh, so it was Monday, April
17th?
Yeah, 17th.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that was also a double team meeting.
17.
And as we change our name, we could literally just put like Andromeda team meeting, and that's all you need, right?
And then on Thursday, April 13, I think it was. I'm checking here. It was just.
Yeah, and as we get better at this, what we'll find is that we'll have all of the information stored in the master list. Unfortunately, it's not perfectly updated, but I think we have Monday. So if I go here to the dates, we have Monday, April 17th is in here. And I could simply go to our double team meeting, and it was, and I would click on it. And this takes us down to here, and it says that you were present for half of the meeting.
Yeah.
Right? So that was an hour and a half, and Jorge was not present, right? That has the link. So in that, so this is where you would check, you know, for in the future, like all the different, we're not up to date, obviously, so this is part of what we
Community America's Network main doc. I think I'm there, Community America's Network main doc. Yes, I'm there, but I cannot find the notes.
These would be the community days notes.
Oh, community days.
Right.
Okay.
And this will be, you know, there'll be the contents. This is like so.
Okay.
Content.
Community days. Okay, I'm there.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you know where that would be, but you know, again, we're missing a lot of these days, and that's part of what we're going to be going through today to get that set up. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm in Thursday, April 13, but I'm finding. Okay.
So if we go into April 13th,
we should find like the teams, right?
buddy team with Jorge. This would be our double staff team meeting. So, you know, we didn't know that it was called the Andromeda team at that point or the Americas team. So, and because this is the first one, Andromeda team, right? And it was two. Yeah. It was two.
That was the first one.
It actually doesn't say how long it was. So that was actually, so it was 2 p.m. It started at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it was 2 hours, 2 to 4 p.m.
Yep.
And so this should say 2 hours like that. And yeah, it's 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, technically. I think, maybe not. Okay, so I mean, I'm assuming that it will actually be America's time. America's time. That's interesting. So let me actually change this around. So this would be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this would be 12 p.m. And the only reason I do that is because this doc is still in, this entire thing's still in Pacific Standard Time. And then we switch starting Monday, April 17th is where we switch from UTC -7 to UTC -6 for America's time. Cool. So this is looking good. All right. So we have, oh, and so then the next step that we should do is, and let me also note here. So, oops, it's your doc, work doc. Buddy team. So we want to make sure we're noting down. We want to do daily notes documentation. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and, so I'm going back to the Americas doc here. Oh wait, I don't know if it's actually in here. Or no, this is the Andromeda team doc.
That's the Andromeda.
This is the Andromeda double.
Is there a way that we can link the first meetings we got? Those are the ones, right? Those are those are only the notes.
Yeah, they're all linked here.
I was trying, maybe in this other section, besides the notes, we can link like the actual meeting that we had, like the one that you had in the community.
I'm missing what you're saying. Do you want to say it again?
Yes. Perhaps here, the links that we have here are the notes, right?
Yeah, these are all the notes. Of
the meetings.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if maybe we can link like the what is in the other page in the community, in the hold on, in the FQN Community Americas Network main doc to the Americas document, main document.
You mean the Andromeda?
Yeah, to the Andromeda, yes.
So, well, that's the whole idea of the Americas doc. The Americas doc is saving all of the meeting notes for all of the all of the meetings, right, in America's time. So we don't need that much data and information in the Andromeda doc, because it's just not applicable. But what we should be doing, for example, for each meeting at the end of the meeting. So let's look at yesterday's meeting, for example. So during wrap up, we technically should be doing value tracking, right? So what that would look at is at the end of the meeting, and let's note this as a topic here. So this would be end of meeting value tracking. And this would be part of value tracking. So the way that works is like, as an example, so we have our meeting from Friday, and at the very bottom, maybe we'll make like a line or something like that, and this would be like, meeting value tracking. So you would say here that the meeting was 3 hours, right, or 2.5 hours. I can double check that briefly over here where I have it stored. So this would be from Friday. Come in here. I come down to our meeting time. I'm drawing double check. So it was about 3 hours. That's what I have. So then in that context, and so this could go to 3 hours like that, right? And you didn't do email, so yeah. Oh no, this was today. So today's 2 hours. Yesterday was 3 hours. But
okay.
Or maybe it was 2.5 hours. I don't know. Maybe you left for some of it, but I'm pretty sure you were there for the whole thing, right? I'm pretty sure we did a full 3 hours. Like that's what I calculated, unless you were like late or something like that. So the point is you have 3 hours, right? So this would be for 3 hours and usually what we do is we just do like, Jay, Nelly, and although it's kind of, Isaac and Anna, but it's kind of like.
I'm not looking at your screen. Can you share your screen?
You can't see my screen?
No, I cannot see your screen.
It says that I am doing screen sharing. Let me try to stop screen sharing and start screen sharing. That better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so basically what I did here is I just went to the bottom of the notes. In this particular meeting, we had, this is Friday, April 21st, yesterday, we have, all 4 of us were there for the entire meeting. Yeah. So it's pretty self-explanatory, and up here you could easily write, 3 hours, right? So in that context, and sometimes we do, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., right? So that's partly what you can add to the notes if you're doing them perfectly right. But additional to that, at the bottom of the document, we would do value tracking. And this would be like, hey, all of us were here 3 hours. This is basically like, duh, we were all there. But what if someone was there less time and other person was there, so Jorge was there for 0 hours, right? Maybe, Steve was there for 0.5 hours, right? So the idea is that you can actually note down how many people, and this would be copied into the daily doc, right?
Value tracking.
For value tracking, exactly. That's what the daily documents are for. Like when we're tracking all of the meeting notes, we're going to be bringing over who was there, what times, and start tracking the type of work that was done. So then, in addition to this, right, I would say, Jay had 1 hour or 3 hours of facilitation. Right? So this would be technically 3 hours of, meeting attendance and training, right? So that would be for all of us, right? But then in addition to that, you're getting 3 hours facilitation. Ana Clara did an excellent job doing the 3 hours of timekeeping, right? She did an excellent job. And then in addition to that, Jay did 3 hours of note taking, right? So this is like the actual value tracking that happened during this particular meeting.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
So in that context, there are other components where we did do some work time. So for example, you could say in here where we were doing all the spreadsheets and work, right? We did some spreadsheet work and we did some finances and that kind of stuff. So we could do that, and then in that part we could say, we could also even get to even more detail, right? Where Nelly and Anna, right? No, it was Jay, Nelly, and Anna all did 3 hours of full computer. Whereas Isaac was just was 0 hours of computer because he was on his cell, right? So he didn't contribute as much to the meeting as you and Anna did and myself did, because he just wasn't able to do that because he was only there with his audio cell phone, right? So this is the kind of, so we can actually get down into like really specific types of value that people are contributing to the meetings and to the work that's being done. So because you guys had your computer, you were able to get into the spreadsheets, right? So there may have been some spreadsheet work, right? Well, spreadsheet work session that was inside of that, you know, which might have been like 0.5 hours of finance spreadsheets, right? For the three of us, whereas Isaac wasn't able to get that type of value. So these are a lot of details, and this is only the example of a single meeting. But this is why what we want to do is really make sure people are tracking their hours with the topic that they were tracking their hour with, so that we're able to issue the contribution credits. Cool. So are we good on this? Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes,
I'll just
totally.
put this, I'll copy this as an example. So example meeting
of value
tracking. That's an example. Cool. So that's pretty cool that we covered that. We'll get more into it over time. And then just so you know, this would just get copied, right? We copy that and we put that into the master notes doc. So this would be for Friday. And we have our drama double team. It'll just go right there. But, right. And it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on this particular doc. And we're going to copy that over and make it 2 p.m. America's time. But we'll get back to that. So back to our notes here. So we have daily notes, activities. Cool. So I want to go cover this first. So we're going to go into, so this is getting people paid. Getting people paid and logging hours into spreadsheets. So now that we have your work report generally completed, next is, oh, and I have, where was that? So go back to our meeting notes from yesterday. Let me just double check one other thing. In here? No, it wouldn't be here. Where did I put it? And another good thing to do that we want to get used to is like on our buddy team doc, right? So if I go back to our buddy team doc, we want to make sure we have our main docs. So this would be main docs for us.
Yes.
So this would be Nelly and Jay. Okay. Our buddy team. All right. So the other thing that's, I thought I had copied it here, but obviously I didn't. So I'm going to recopy it from the notes from Friday. And put it right around here. Maybe right around here. This is a good spot. So Friday, our double team meeting from Friday, we went over, oh, I know what I put. I put it into the personnel. Okay, so let's go to this. So if I go to the personnel, so I'd simply do, this is our double team. I go to America's doc. And then for this one, I'm going down to the teams. So I click on teams. And this would be the projects. It's actually a project, and it's project personnel support. And you don't need to do this yourself. I'm just pulling up some information. So this is where you find how you find information that's already been indexed. So this is payroll and budget processes. So I can now delete that and then come over to our meeting here and stick this here. So this is payroll and budget. So getting people paid, payroll and budget. I also feel like this is helpful information to have in the Andromeda double team. We'll just throw it at the bottom.
Andromeda super team. Okay.
Okay, so this is the spreadsheet for putting team hours and pay. And I thought of a really good way to make this oh, I just lost it. It just disappeared. That's funny. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so I thought of a good way of making this much clearer and simpler. So basically what we're going to do is at the beginning, we just put all the expected stuff. So this would be expected hours, right? And then we have proposed pay, right? And so I think that's pretty much it. So this would all be the same over here, copy, paste. And then this would be the same for everybody over here. So this is basically what people, you know, and this could even be expected, and this is hours and pay, right? Merge cell, expected slash up to. Maybe it's a little smaller. Huh, it's odd. Sometimes I color these just to like help, you know, put a line, you know, line, right? But it's not totally necessary. So then this would be the actual week here, which would be, you know, hours. This would be hours worked. So hours worked for this particular week. And now we know Nelly did, I think it was, let's go back. So Nelly did 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours. And so we're expecting you to do 15 hours a week for, and then we would have to take the $500 a month, right? And then we're dividing this by 4 weeks per month. It would be $125 a week. Okay, so expected hours is no longer going to be needed, right? Well, actually, let's just go ahead and do this anew so that we can make sure it's all clear. So, oh no, I messed it up. Oh no, it's good, it's good. Okay, so this would be the new week. So we're gonna start with week of April 15th through blah, blah, blah. Oh no, geez, so let's write it manually. Week of April 9th through 15th, done. Okay, and then we can start by merging these two cells. So this is going to be hours worked, and we know we did 2.5, and then so then we have percentage. I'm going to actually add a column that's a percentage. So hours, I think it's actually better to do it first. So we had percentage time. So 30. So I'm basically doing 100% time, which is full time, right? Beyond full time. So you'd be doing 50% time. Ulysses would be doing 50% time. Abdul, I don't know. I'd have to check on that. Jorge, we're not expecting anything from Jorge right now, but he would be doing 10 hours. So that's 33%. No. Yeah, 33%. Isaac is doing 15 hours as well, right? And Ana Clara is doing 15 hours as well. Cool. So I think these are the right numbers, but we're going to have to double check all that.
Yes, according to what we
right here,
discussed
15,
yesterday, those are the right numbers.
Cool, 75, and this is 100. And Isaac, we don't have Isaac in there, so we'll have to get Isaac's. Okay, so then this would, so you have percentage time, percentage hours. This is going to get deleted. Delete column. All right, perfect. So then from here, you have percentage time worked. So this would be equal to, I guess you could say, oh, actually, you know what? I really do want to think about this in terms of like the whole budget. It's really helpful to have this. So pay.
So maybe we can add like the budget somewhere so we can
pay for, and this would be hours. No, the budget will be right here, right? So you have pay for hours, right?
Okay.
And then here you have pay for full time. right? So if you did do full time, you know, this would still be 250 for me, right? Whereas you, it would be equal to this times times 2, right? So if you were getting full time, you'd be getting paid that much, right? So that's just helpful. And Anacleta should be doing the same as you, right? Isn't she doing the same as you are?
Yes.
Okay, so that's helpful to have there. I think I don't know exactly doing. Okay, so then the next thing would be the easiest thing to do here is just thinking about it in terms of percentage time, right? But we could say this is equal to 2.5 hours work divided by a full time hours, so it'd be 30. So this is equal to this divided by 30. And that would give you your percentage time for the week. This would be a full time. It kind of could be helpful to have it as well, like percentage time of of your hours, right? So this would be equal to this divided by the number of hours that I'll be working. Except I'm not even doing this correctly because this is for you, and I'm doing 30.
Yeah.
And we definitely do not need decimal points. Just not necessary. Cool. So then, and this is making another space here. Let's add in, make that black. Cool. So then the easy calculation now is that to the right, then we can see you would say so pay for work done, right? So pay for work
Okay.
yeah, would equal to the amount of actually the easiest thing to do here is just the amount of total full-time. If you were working full-time, this is how much you would have gotten. And this is the dollar amount.
Give me just 1 second, okay, please?
Yeah, of course, take your time.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Here with you.
Awesome, yeah. Cool, so then we can also look at Ulysses here. And then all of this should just be automatic. And that's why I like it. And then on Anacleta did 3 hours her time, and then the rest of it is just all automatic. So all you have to do now is just put in the hours worked, and then everything else is just automatic. So right here, so if we just go like this, it would say question mark. So it would say, because it has blank spots. Blank. So we'll have to update these. But anyway, so this is a lot. I think it's simpler to have it like this because it's just it's a little clearer than this. Is this gets a little confusing. So what this would look like for the next week. So then there's only 4 columns for each week instead of like 8. Because this part better. These columns are the same every single week. There's no difference ever. So I figured for the actual weeks, we just do the change of what's actually changing, you know? And the only thing that actually changes is the number of hours. Everything else stays the same. And we could even show that by going like this. We could say, it's like this is all that changes. Cool. And I don't think anyone else got. Actually, you know what? Abdul definitely got paid, and he didn't get paid $500. No one else got paid. All right. So then you would just take this entire thing and copy it over here, and then eventually you'll be able to copy an entire month, which is cool. So this is in the month here, our months go to the second Saturday of the month, so we have to track it in more detail. But anyways, so here there's a little changes that have to happen. Full time would actually be equal to this divided by, oh wait, no, that's right. Undo. That's this one is correct. This is the one that's not correct. So this is percentage time of hours. Oops. So for percentage time of hours, it's let's see here. So it's G3 times C3. So G3, it's hours worked divided by the total expected hours. So this would be equal to hours worked divided by total expected hours, which would be that one. And then the pay for the work would be equal to I4 minus E4. So I4 times E4 equal to I4Q, this one, times that one. So then all we have to do is simply put in the right numbers, and then we're good to go. So if we think about hours worked last week, I don't know, about 550. So we don't worry about me doing overtime. So Nelly, oh, and this is the next week. So this can all be deleted. We're done with this. Delete. All right, so we know you did 10.5 hours. So this would be, no, this is the next week. So that's that week. So this is a week of April 16th to 22nd. 16th to 22nd. And you worked 10.5 hours. So that's 35% time. 70% of the total that you were going to do is $52, and you have not been paid. Okay, so that's, let's make sure this is right. So E5, pay if you're full-time. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And Nelly, 250. But let's see here, so 35% time out of the 50, 30% time. So let's just think if you were doing 15, you should get 125, but it says 75. So why does it say 75? So E5.
Something is not right.
Yeah, so P5 is the total. If you're doing full time, the total number of hours would be 50% time for your time times the amount of money that you were going to get paid if you were full time, which would be 250, which is E5. Oh, because this is Ulysses. Nelly, you are here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the second one.
We did the wrong person. So we don't know how many hours Ulysses. So we're not going to worry about Ulysses. We're not going to worry about Ana Clara. And we know me. So we did me. I'm covered. Was I paid? No, was not paid for this week. And we're going to say no for everybody because nobody got paid this week. Okay, so then you are at 10.5. Voila, 87.50. That is correct. Yay. Okay, so that is excellent. And I mean, as you get closer to the 15, it's like, we can just average it up, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So 8 hours here, boom, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now all we have to do is fill in the out, and then we're done. And then this is all just confusing. Get rid of, so delete all of this. And then what we can do is we can put, and technically, so just to look at our calendar here, the reason we're going to be doing our months a little off, and it'll make more sense in the future when we start going into our lunar solar calendars, because we just don't really operate by the Gregorian calendar. So at least for the Americas time, and some of the global time, we go from the second Saturday. So the first week is the 9th through the 15th. 9 through 15.
Okay.
So this is technically week 1 of the month,
Yes.
right? So we'll just say week 1, April 15th. So this will become week 2. Right, so the next week after this would be week 3. Week 3. And this is April 23rd, 23rd to 29th. And then week 4 would be Sunday the 30th to May 6th. So this is actually April 30th to May 6th. So then we can put down here is that the whole month is April 16th. Is that right? It's April 9th.
6th, yeah.
April 9th to May 6th.
Yeah.
And that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? So once a year, there's going to be 5 weeks, and basically you would get, wait, hold on a sec. So this is the first Saturday. It's the second Saturday of the month. So the 7th to the 13th is also applicable, right? So this would be the second
So
Saturday.
it should be 13. Yes, it should
So
be.
I think there's 5. I think there's 5 weeks. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yeah. So once a year, you're going to get 1 month that has 5 weeks, right? And so and that happens to be this month, you know, because there's 52 weeks in a year, right? Which means there's 1 extra week per year when you divide it by 12 months.
Yeah.
So basically what that means is people will get paid an extra week for this month, which is exciting. But overall your pay is exactly the same, whether it's, you know, weekly or monthly or whatever.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to insert another, let's just make this bigger, another line, insert to the right. All right, and then take this here, copy and paste. So, and this is going to be week 5, April. So it's May 7th through
May 7th, sorry.
13th. It's very interesting that is happening this right away. But that gives us so we already covered the first week. So our budget will basically last through, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks. So actually there's this week we're finishing now too. And so it'll be 1, 2, 3 more weeks.
Okay.
For the budget, and then we try to have our budgets, you know, reasonably synchronized. Okay, so now we just need to update these to make sure that it's all clear. So week 3 has not happened yet, so this will be 0, 0. Week 4 has not happened yet. Oh, and then all of these need to be fixed. So this is correct for week 2. This is not correct. So time hours is going to be N3, which is the number of hours times the C3. So this is C3 times U3. Perfect. So that's correct. Oh, please go away. Boom. And then this one is, so the paperwork is P3 times E3. So this will be P3, and so just change this to E3, and that is done. Cool. And then we have not paid anybody yet, so, or no one's done any work yet. So this one's going to be the same. So it'll be, this just needs to change to C3.
Mhm.
Let's double check that. Yep, C3, and then this one changes to E3. E3. And again, this is all zeroed.
C3 and E3.
Cool. So now it's ready for the whole week. And then what's really great is that for the next month, all we have to do is come here and we just say duplicate. And then it'll just be May 14th through June 10th. And then we would need to update all the weeks, right? And then there's just no week 5, and we would delete this because that only happens once. So delete. Boom. Oh, oops! I deleted the wrong week. Oh no, I didn't. That's right. Delete. Cool. So now there's only 4 weeks here. Awesome. So that would be for the next month. It's all ready to go. So we only had to do that once to get it all set up, right? And then it's done forever. And we just would add a new person if we're going to hire a new person, and then they just all we have to do is just put in their expected / proposed pay, and then every week we just fill in their work hours, and everything is just done automatically.
Okay, we just change the hours, and that's it.
Yeah. So then, for example, oh, whoops. Propose. So let's just go like that. Propose / up to. So, and then what would happen if you were, let's say 1 week you worked, let's look at next week, right? So for Nelly, let's say next week, for whatever reason, you work 23 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this would be more than the total. And what would happen is you would get, 125 dollars. Oh, actually, we should add another column. Ooh, this would be cool. So let's add another column here, just so it automatically. No, it's gonna add another column right here, real quick. So this would be back pay, right? So if you did this, would be equal to the number. Let's see if we can make that work. Yeah, this works. So you do this minus your total, which is going to be E4, right? And then this would all be times 1.25, because we do for back pay we do an initial hour and 25%.
Okay.
So why is it not? Oh, because we didn't divide by 4. So this would not, that's the wrong one. So this would not be E4. It would be your actual agreed upon pay, which is this one. So that'd be D4.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be D4. Cool. So that would be $83. So you would say, yes, we paid you $125, right? And then for that, but you would also get an additional $83 of back pay, and this would be part of like your equity. That makes sense? So this would be upfront pay, upfront pay, and this would be back pay.
Okay.
And what's really cool about the back pay is that, depending on how our budget is, right? So we can just copy right here. We can sum this up. Summing is really easy. You just come here, sum the totals. We see how much we paid people. We can see the total amount that we promised people, right? Like this. This is how much we promised everybody. $575, right? Mm-hmm. And so the way it would work is that let's say you're the only person who worked that week. Okay, let's say me and you worked that week, right? So I worked, and really it's going to be, maybe I have like 50 hours or whatever ridiculousness. But oh, that's my partner. Hold on one sec.
Go ahead.
I am in the middle of a call, a meeting. All right, so yes, I'll be in about an hour. Huh. Oh, we need to call into this other one too. Forgot about that. Forgot about the community Saturday. Let me make sure we note here community Saturdays.
What time is it? The community Saturday is at 7?
It's right now. I mean, we've already gone into it.
Okay.
30 minutes, I think. We've been doing an hour and a half, right? Are we at an hour and a half?
Yes.
Cool. So you have a half an hour left. So let's just really quickly call in so that I can get that another recording. I'm gonna stop this recording too.
Service is provided in high definition. Access code accepted. You are the only participant in the conference. To start conference recording, press 1. The recording has started.
Cool. All right, and I got another message real quick that I'm going to respond to.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Lucian, and Lucian says, I'll be available in 30 minutes. I can talk at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have no idea where they are in the world. It might be on East Coast. If that works for you. If not, we can do later. I will actually be in Oakland as well after the hackathon. All right. So, cool. All right, so this is still really important to get this figured out. And additionally, this is also something that would be happening, quite regularly on Saturdays, right? And that's part of why we synchronize our payment cycles with the Saturdays, because Saturdays is like our main day, right? So the goal is to get as many people working on Saturdays as possible. I'll just show you really quick. We can cover community Saturdays because I think it's fun and exciting. So if you went to community Saturdays.
Actually, if we can do meetings on Saturdays earlier, that will be very amazing for me.
We can schedule whatever schedule that you want. I mean, there's no required time. It's just like the less time you schedule, the less hours that you'll end up working, and then it's just like you may not get paid as much, right? But it's like the goal is you to hit the 15 hours a week mark, which shouldn't be that hard, right?
So
and
maybe
then
we
from
can
there,
do it like 11 Americas on Saturdays.
Well, I mean, I can't guarantee it every week or whatever, but for now, let's just put on our notes here. We want to cover scheduling, okay?
Yeah.
So let's do that next. So really quickly, I'm going to pull up so if I go to UnityNet, I go to our calendars, right? And we go to our Americas calendar. So we have our buddy team here, and then it overlaps with the FCON experience and then the support session. So this is the support session. Then after that is actually the main session. So some of that could change around a little bit, but overall, this is the Americas, right? So if you think about the and why is this so weird? So if we go to our notes, and so right now we're talking a little bit about community, and it's actually with that capital U for this particular one, Saturdays. And the website is, we'll just do the simple one, CSWCSTT. Okay, so for Community Saturdays, the goal is that it happens during the Americas session, right? And the Americas session is the Americas Quadrant session, right? So this happens and we can just double check it. It's always good to double check everything. So if we go back to the Adjama team and we have our new quadrant scheduled doc, these times have all been double checked. So the Americas session is specifically from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So you're never required to go to an Americas session, right? But it's just good to note that that's the time that it's at, right? So the reason why we don't start at 1:00 p.m. is because if the sessions start at 2, 3, and 4, right? Because it's a 4-hour chunk of time, it gives us an hour to set up. So the first hour would be the setup and preparation for the other 3 hours of meetings, right? So the only other option would be to start the Americas session preparation and planning during the Atlantic session, and then do a full 4 hours of meetings. But we don't need to do a full 4 hours of meetings. That's just silly at this point in time, right? But maybe in the future that might happen. But right now it's just not necessary. So that's why the most ideal time for you to be involved would be between 1. So set up and preparation for the community Saturdays, and this is for the Americas, right? Americas Community Saturdays is from 1 p.m. to 12 p.m. So that would be the ideal time for you to be involved, but it's not 100% necessary. So if we look at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., if you do the 11 a.m. to 1, some weeks that's going to work. Other weeks it just won't work because I might have other schedules and calendar items there. So for example, today there was this call, but today I was pretty open, so I could have done today pretty easily, right? And then after this, I'm going to be heading to Oakland. So Jay in Oakland. I'll probably be there for pretty late. Hopefully no longer than that. So do you want to do a quick scheduling for next week?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we can do that.
So, but yes. Saturdays work good for you in general, but you just want to do during the Americas session, right? So if we come here, if we look at daily, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we would go all the way down to the very bottom to Saturday.
Yeah.
And generally, I'm not available for your Africa sessions. I mean, that's some crazy stuff. Atlantic sessions, is not great for me, but Saturdays, I actually am available more often than others. There's pretty much no other day that I'm available during Atlantic sessions on a regular basis. Cool. I can probably do that. Yeah. So that's sort of
sessions.
Yeah. So you are available generally on Saturdays during the Atlantic session?
Americas.
And Americas or both?
Americas, yes.
And the Atlantic, both of them?
Yeah, I can do Atlantic, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So that's, I just put that for Saturdays, right? That might be good to actually put headings on these. And you can change this at any time by just updating the schedule. So then the way I would do the scheduling, I would come over here. I got to log into our scheduling. I like to log into the scheduling one with this because then all the times are in the correct place. So, and there's also a lot of other scheduling stuff to do. So we can come up here and do calendars and scheduling. All right. Okay, so, oh wait, wrong place, over here. Calendars. And this is something that you can totally do because if you log into the Americas one, the Americas account, it's already there. And the only reason I log into this account is that it's all in UTC time because we do all of our scheduling in UTC. So what we would want to look at, and I think that has me and you on here already. So we're thinking about making our buddy team sessions on Saturdays a regular thing. So we go repeat, and it'll be once a week, and we're just going to do 2 sessions because it's going to do this one and 1 additional one, and then that's going to be done. And then that'll automatically bring your email in, so you'll get automatic reminders, right? And then I go to the next week, and then it should pop up. There it is. And then we're going to change it. So we're going to edit here, and we're going to change the time. So we want to do 2 hours, right? And oh my God, the times are a little crazy. So 8 p.m. is, so 7 p.m. is 1 p.m. America's time, and you said you want to do 11. So 6 p.m. is 12 p.m. America's time, and so 5 p.m. would be 11. Is that what you said? 11? Okay. And the other thing I need to think about is that I really do need to schedule. Where'd it go? This other meeting next Saturday. I should have scheduled it this Saturday, but it didn't happen. So I think at 10 o'clock would be the best time. Would be tokenization. Okay, so that starts at 10. We might be able to do 11. It might be a little afterwards. We'll just figure it out. So then what I do here is I do 4 p.m. So it's 1, 12, 11, it's 5 p.m. So actually, no, cancel that. That's this one. So I just want to go to 5 p.m. Edit event. 5 p.m. And it's going to be 2 hours and save. Only spent following events. Send. All right, so there that goes. And then obviously you can help prep for the rest of the community Saturday, even if you didn't attend it. So now that we put that in the calendar, we always double check by coming over here and looking at it, and it's from 11 to 1 America's time, which is
okay,
12
but it's already there
in
the web page. Okay.
Yeah, and it's already there, and you've already been invited to it.
Okay.
Another thing that we do is we can do direct what is called text message reminders, if you're interested in text message reminders. That's something that we can do. If
to our team?
To people who are scheduled for meetings, right? So, you know, we have a buddy team meeting. If you wanted me, I could add you as a text message reminder if you wanted that. But for now, I mean, people are showing up pretty good with the Skype and everything, so. Cool, but we do that for a lot of our meetings. It just will automatically send out a text reminder. It's especially important for example, like, you know, we have this new moon selling session at this random time, 6 a.m., right? Like, how is anyone going to remember that? So you can send out an automatic text reminder, so that gives it that much extra oomph to actually remember to go to it, you know, because it's random. So, and we can. This is the other scheduling thing, like. You know, there is a group of global people that we want to work out. I mean, right now we have a pretty small global budget, but I'm working that out, and hopefully we'll be able to get it all moving forward. But if we want to do this, I think that we can. You know, I think this would be it would be very, very, you know, it could end up just being me and you, but we might get a couple people coming to it. It's just, you just never really know. But do you want to do this time, or?
Yeah, because that one is Wednesday. This Wednesday it's 6, 7. Yes, I think 6 Americas is okay. Well,
it would be it would be 6 a.m. America's time, which would be 7 a.m. your time, and 5 a.m. my time. It's okay.
Because it's Wednesday. Yes, I can do it.
Yeah, and it's just a one-time thing, which is how the whole global calendar, the whole global teams and global structure works, based on these irregular meetings, because they're all natural time cycles, like the new moon. And the reason that we do that is that it makes it so that it's fair for everybody across the world. Like when you have to get up really early or in the middle of the night, you know, it's just based on the natural cycles. So what all I have to do for this one is I would come into here, I would click on this, I would hit edit, and I would invite you. So I can invite myself, jay@jayslife.net. I would invite Nelly, and
Nehtersen. It's E-H.
N-E-H.
C, as in Charlie?
Uh-huh.
No, before the H. Yeah, E-R-S A-N at gmail.com.
Cool. All right. So do you want to come just this one, or do you want me to invite you in future ones as well?
Yeah, I would like to go in the following ones.
Okay. So send. Cool. So that's the new one. Excellent. And we'll just take you off if you change your mind based on it being at like 3 in the morning or something. Okay. So that we're pretty much done with the scheduling, which is good. And then we have our all of our Andromeda team meetings throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And we're pretty much at time here. I was going to see if I could get the Community Saturdays website to come up, but it's not coming up, which is kind of concerning. Let me just try really quick in Opera here. Community Saturdays. It's concerning that it's not working. So this would be a next step as well. So we'd add up here, Community Saturdays website not working. Okay, so we have to deal with that at some point.
So weird that it's not working.
Oh, I think there's a lot of our websites that don't work. Let's see if our index works.
Okay.
Index.wsetpc. Yeah, so this is working. So this indexes all of our websites. We have hundreds of websites, and it just lists them all based on the number. Eventually, we're going to have an index all in Spanish, right? That'll list all the Spanish websites, right? So yeah, that's our index. Okay, so just to finish up with this pay stuff.
Yep.
So let's say the week of April 3rd, only me and you worked and nobody else worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would see over here our total pay for everybody per week would be sum of everybody's pay is $575 per week based on what was agreed on. And then this, if we sum up our hours, it would equal 441, right? So if nobody else worked this particular week except for me and you, we would have more than enough money to pay you for all of the hours, the full $191. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely.
And it's in our advantage to do that because we have to pay you an additional 25% for back pay. Right? So if if we get the budgets in the future to pay you, we'd end up paying you, more. So if you do $83, well, if you do, what is it? $191 minus the $125 we agreed to pay you, that would be $66. So we're paying you an extra $20 simply because we wouldn't be paying you up front. So it actually saves us $20 to pay you right away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's the ideal. Is just that we just want to get people paid right away. And back pay amounts and back pay values can actually be different than your upfront pay. And there's a way to like if greater than 0. I wonder if you can do if greater than 0. Equal that? No. I don't know how to do that. But right now it's in negatives. I know there's a way to get rid of this so that it will say 0 unless there's a value. Cool. So I'm glad that we covered that. What's next? So let's put this away.
Scheduling, calendars.
I got that all done. I noted the index.wc.pc. And by the way, the wc.pc is the World Collaborative for Transformative Community. That's one of our ones. Okay, cool. So let's go through this, see if there's any last thing. Oh, I don't think we actually copied over. So it's in our buddy team meeting. No, it's not there either. Americas. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, here we go. So these are all the other next steps from as far as I remember. So we got the reporting doc set up. We got the missing team, all this kind of stuff going. So I think overall we covered everything pretty well. There's always still a couple things here and there, but I think overall we got everything pretty good. So the only other question would be, oh, and then just so we know how to do this, so that we take the next steps, right? And we would actually put these in our buddy team doc so that we don't forget about them. And that would go here. And then from here, we would copy them into the ones that are applicable to us would stay here, but the ones that are applicable to the whole Americas team, we would copy in to the Americas team. So we could actually take this and even take it up all the way to here and be like more new next steps, right? Cool. So there was one other thing that I remember, but I think we're good on it. Oh, that's perfect. I'm on there already. Oh, cool. Awesome. So I'm going to do an HR network intake for the EXA. And yeah. And then we can check out here. I guess the only other thing that I would want to cover real quick is just to make sure we organize your tasks for Monday.
Yes.
So if we, we need to link this too. We didn't link this. So our buddy team notes for now, we need to make sure that they're linked to the Andromeda super team as well, because so everybody has access to them. So that's done. And from there, we need to go into yesterday's meeting. Actually, we don't need to do that. What we need to do is go into this, the client plan.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the priorities here. So help create new work tracking form. So we did this. So this is actually done. I did that. But what we do need to do is we need to track down everybody who didn't fill out the form, right? So this is something you can help out with. And Isaac is also Nelly and Isaac. I'll help out with that. Connect with teleoperations, so that's fine. All right. What else here? And then you can also help with some of the finances. You said you were down to help with some of this part. So,
yes.
So this is some of the stuff that goes into our buddy team and also into your doc. So
main doc.
Priorities into your main doc. Actually, let's just put them directly into your main doc just for having it really clear. So do I have your main doc open? No, it's not open. Go to your main doc. So this would be client tasks and responsibilities. So one is current work tracking. current work tracking. You're going to help identify who didn't fill. All right.
The work reporting.
Yeah, this is work reporting for EXA.
Yeah.
Not us.
Okay.
And they do it differently than we do, right? So we went through the whole process of understanding how we do our payroll and our pay and our work tracking and hourly tracking, all that kind of stuff, right? And value tracking. And it's good because you're able to get a grasp of the general process, right? Because what we're going to do for EXA is basically the same thing. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. There's just like little differences, and the differences are small enough that it's really helpful to see how we do it for the FCON Community Network, so that when we do it for EXA, you'll basically know 90% of it. So some of the differences are basically, instead of hourly tracking, they do percentage hours, and it's a little more flexible because the teams are a lot busier, and they go faster, so they're not as organized as we want to be. But yeah, that's and then there's also little differences on how they do the form reporting and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's one thing, we got that done. Past work tracking. This is something we can start on Monday as well. So past work tracking is going to be very important. So we'll go through that. This is mainly it is some spreadsheets, but it's just like data entry, and they're also going to be doing the same thing of tracking down, identifying who is missing from the data, right? And then once we identify who's missing, then me and Isaac can email them and liaison to them to actually get that, and then eventually you can help with that as well. And actually, we might even have to start calling people up the phone, like, hey, this week, how did you actually work or not? So that's part of our role. So then the next one is the finance statements, and it's only going to be mainly manually copying and pasting transactions. So this would be finance and doing manual copy and pasting, and then we'll worry about that. So this includes screenshots of transactions, etc., and statements, bank statements, and yeah. HR personnel intake. So right now I'm going to start an HR personnel intake session. I usually record them so you could listen to one. So you can, in the future, we'll get you all up to date on that. But if you wanted to stick around, you could listen now, but it's not a big deal. So priorities, project management systems, linear. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for Monday. This is like hours and hours and hours of work to deal with all of this stuff, but it's at least a good start. So on Monday we will go over it in more detail to get you started, and I'll link here. So here we need the link to the EXA value tracking, and then we might do it right now really fast, and then we'll check out. Okay.
Okay.
So if I go to Drive. This will be EXA, and then the open folder, and where's their main doc? EXA also has a main doc. It's extremely tons and tons of stuff on it. There's all the multiple organizations that they have going. There's all the structure stuff, all the teams, all the projects. It's pretty much endless, just like us, if not even more endless, because they have so much more going on than we do. Tracking team, and this is not a team, it's a project value tracking. I just copy this here and paste it here, and this will be what you're working with. So you can start to look at this, kind of see some of the information going on there. The work tracking is similar to this, and then there's also the HR one. So if we go to here, we pull up HR personnel. So value tracking and HR personnel. Finance, I mean, eventually I think there's a project finance, right? Do we have a project finance? I don't see a project finance. So we need to create a project finance doc. we'll get that done later. Cool, awesome. So that's that'll get you started. You can start perusing those documents, learn about more what's going on. And personnel intake, this is going to involve personnel intake as well. Cool, awesome. All right, so
let's tracking personnel. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll copy all of this here as well for our notes. Boom. Cool. So that gives you some links and some information you can start researching. And obviously, I need to go through some of the details of how the forms work. And we're going to need to make new spreadsheets as well. But at least that'll give you, if you have some time between now and Monday, which you probably won't because it's Sunday, right? You want to enjoy yourself.
Yes.
But you have a little stuff you can do there. Okay. I thought this was really good. I'm glad we got to the client stuff at the end.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, eventually we will have buddy sessions where we literally only do client work, right?
Okay.
So, but for now we need to get ourselves set up too. Saturdays are going to be a little different than most other work sessions because we might be doing some planning for the Saturday, community Saturdays, as we get more outreach and organizing going for that. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun helping with that, as well as Ana Clara, once we start ramping up our internal outreach for the community network. But let's focus on getting exit stuff done first. So I think that's it for me. How about you? Want to check out real quick?
Yes. Well, today I think the meeting was very, very good because we got to see about the clients' needs, and we are going to start working on the clients already on the client on Monday. So that's very good. So what else? I'm going to go to see my friends to this birthday celebration, and I'm hoping to have a good time still here in the city, and then I'll be back to Pachuca, to my city tomorrow.
Great. Very cool. Very cool. And I'll just mention that, what we're going to be doing for our clients with the payroll and the HR and the finances and like all the budgeting stuff is exactly what we just did for us. It's like if there's going to be differences because it's different people, different amounts, different situations, but it's basically the same thing. So cool. Awesome. All right. Lots of enjoyment for you, and have a great day, and I will talk to you on Monday. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye. You too.
Ciao.